On the show. It's the one and only Chera Dynae, coming live from the 863. It's time to brew and burn on the latest bullshit. Who won? Who won? Who won? Welcome. Hey, before we get started and jump on in and I introduce myself, I do want to take the time out and shout out to all 7 of my subscribers. Okay, I got 7 subscribers. That is a big accomplishment, okay? Mine is myself and my kids that's following me. I think I got about 3-4 extra subscribers. Hey, is this your first time tuning in or you don't know me? It's just like a little welcome introductory to what to expect when you do tune in to see if you want to tune in. Like, just know that my platform is just as much as your platform. So don't ever feel intimidated to comment. I mean, don't be dogging nobody out. Let's be respectful. We all adults, hopefully. And if it is some minors, I do my minimizing, with the bees and try to do less cussing. I'm a cusser. I like my word seasoning. So hopefully this is a grown folks show. But hey, if the baby's tuning in, I mean, you probably already cuss around them anyway. Like I said, I'm just like you. I'm an everyday person. I deal with the same bull you deal with. I just think we could deal with it together, from the Central Florida area, 863. If you don't know where that, we'll just stick with the Central Florida. So just get them out. Just know I'm somewhere in the heart of Florida. That's where I'm at, Polk County, 863. Shout out to Polk County, okay? Like I say, on my pies, I just want to handle everyday thing. It be kids, sex, marriage, world news, local news, conflicts of interest. Ain't no Ayala or Steve Harvey. Don't be calling me, asking me whatever. I mean, I believe that an unmarried woman shouldn't give a married woman advice, but stress it, take it from me. I got all the game, all the advice. I agree sometimes with men. I agree sometimes with women. It's just my opinion. Whatever floats me, whatever I think is ideally best. That's what I'm gonna go with. I ain't clout chasing. Y'all gonna be like, why she taking his size? It ain't no size. It's just my side. It's my opinion. It's my show. But hey, we could do story time. I could give y'all a brief little rundown about me and mine and my background. To be honest, to be 100% honest, me personally, I feel like I shouldn't even be here. Like, I ain't trying to be like one of them stores was like, dang, she was sleeping on a dirty mattress with rat eat through. Nah, I ain't had that type of upbringing. I ain't even had that type of childhood. I grew up with 3 sisters, a mama and a daddy. Everything was repetition. Don't think y'all finna just get this dramatic. I got it out the mud. I didn't. I was sheltered. I had a lot of help. I remember being a teen mom, of course, statistical teen mom. I am that average story. I had my first kid at 16. I was going into the 11th grade. I had the first week of school. So, I am a teen mom, but like, I don't know. My daddy was paying my baby daycare bill. So, I ain't gonna say I got it, like out the mud, like how most people and their family like disown them and turn their back. I didn't have that. Not only did I have my wonderful parent support, I had my child's my child's father parent support. So yeah, just briefly on that. But you know what I'm saying? I was able to finish. I graduated school with my baby on my hip. Back then, I mean, it was in '05. I can't say a lot of people wasn't having babies, but it had started being taboo. I know I did finish high school, but mainly from like the age of 15 to 22, that's the story I'm talking about. Like, I ain't supposed to be here. My granny words, exactly, not mine. Like, baby, look, you're going to be dead or in jail, Pete. I said, Grandma, I don't want to be either. She said, well, get your shit together because that's where you're headed, okay? Both of my grandmas kept it real, but I remember my grandma telling me that. And like I said, from the age of 15 to 22, man, I stayed getting in trouble. It was fights at school. It was hitting people with bottles in their head. Like, y'all remember that song? That song, I hit that B with a bottle. I really did that. Like, I can honestly say in the 7th grade, I earned that name Gangsta Boo. Okay, shout out to my middle school homies, my middle school clique. Like, they used to call your girl Gangsta Boo. Okay, Straight, like I ain't no head bust, I ain't no shooter now. I ain't shooting, but I will fight you. Again, if I was between the age of 15 and 22, I will fight you. I almost had to drop over a dime. I did almost die when I was 19. That's a story for another day, another time. Yeah, I really met death in the face. I never ever went publicly. A lot of people don't know, like close friends. Like I never shared it like with a significant other or like my kids. So that's a different story in time. But yep, I met death in the face. I was arrested multiple times, like by the age of 19. Petty stuff, like I say, fighting, mainly fighting. Man, I was a junior little thug out here. I remember a time, I don't know, I could have been like, yeah, 19. I ain't had my second son. About 19 going on 20, out here doing those type of things. I remember giving my best friend a ride on the other side of town. And man, y'all, your girl used to be out here Florida riding dirty with suspended license, just goofing out. Like, didn't have myself together. Like, I wasn't even prioritized. Like, I stayed riding dirty, okay? I'm admitted now. They can't come back and get me. I'm clean now. Okay? License suspended. Boom, we young. She got her Jeep. I got my Jeep. And I think, shout out to my bestie, don't get mad, but you did have your baby in your lap in the front seat. So being we hit a right, police double turn around, he get behind me. I already know he finna pull me because her Jeep, my Jeep in the back seat in the car seat, we had my mama car and her Jeep in the lap. So cut a long story short, I kind of took him on like a little baby high speed chase, nothing too fast. I think I was doing under 30. But in my mind is big. I ain't never been to jail. I don't want to go to jail, but I know that's the consequences of driving with suspended license. So I took them about a couple blocks down the road with him to my mom's job. My mom at the time ran the daycare. So cut a long story short, he all agitated, got the guns drawn out, making a big scene. I was actually in between giving my friend a ride. I was actually picking up on one of my big sisters from work who was pregnant at the time. Okay, y'all, I don't know. Like I say, it's just in me. I ain't gonna lie. I use my sister name. I use my sister name. I'm like, why you stressing me? Being a typical teenager. I ain't know if he was gonna get out the car and run, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about this man had his gun drawn on me, my Jeep in the back seat, in the car seat, my best friend, she got her baby. At this point, they probably was scared, but I went because I was just being selfish, worried about not going to church. Anyway, cut a long story short, use my sister's name. He like, all right, I'm gonna let you go, but I need to search the car to make sure ain't no drugs in here. He done called another cop up there. This like, let me get the dogs. Me being young, done not knowing my rights. I'm like, whatever, you ain't gonna find no drugs, you ain't gonna find nothing. He was like, well, why didn't you stop? I said, because I'm scared and I just wanted to get to my mama job. Y'all, my sister done came out of the dang on daycare where she worked at the time. I freaking went off on this man. It was a white gentleman. I'm talking about calling him all kind of names, just straight belittle him. She's ready to get out. She done did her 8-hour shift. She probably was hungry, agitated. Who knows? I know he told her, ma'am, I need you to step back in there. My sister stepped back in there when the clock out. Came back outside, cussed this man out so bad, I kid you no lie. This man's face turned red like a firecracker, okay? Now she done got it. Oh, I know she said, what are you going to do? Arrest me? And she gave him her hands to arrest her. Y'all, why you don't place the handcuffs on this girl? Now she arrested. Now her purse being exposed on the hood of the car, on my mama car. Okay, we were sharing my mama car time. So he digging through my sister's purse. I'm like, man, I just need to get my ticket and go, sir. Like, what are you pulling me over for? So at that time, he was telling me, hey, you finna get this child not being in the seatbelt ticket. So basically, I was finna get my friend ticket until he went in my sister's purse. Find out she was who I said I was. Man, I'm gonna have to go into details because that's a story for another day. But I did used to do stuff like that. It ended up being a real big issue because my mama came up there. She called his sergeant. He had the guns pulled out and in front of her daycare. She wasn't even having it. Y'all gonna have to meet Mom Dude. She wasn't. Anybody know my mama? She wasn't even having it. So he basically just like put me and my sister in handcuffs, put us in the back of the car, rolled us around the hood, rolled down the windows like we cared. We ended up like going downtown. We didn't even get booked in or nothing. They gave us court days. I think we both ended up with like some work release days. Like I said, I just was getting into all kinds of stuff. It wasn't even prioritized. Like, it was one point where I was just terrorizing the streets, y'all. Like, no goals. I was in and out of school. Just playing around with different careers. My daddy told me I'd been everything but a doctor, lawyer, dentist. I changed careers. I'm a very free spirited Scorpio, okay? When my mind's made up, and then one day I might be like, you know what? Forget it. I want to be an astronaut. Why can't I be an astronaut? I'm just that type of person. By the time I was 20, had another kid, my second son, my pretty boy, my crybaby. Back then I was still getting in trouble, in and out of court, I had a run-in way. Like I said, I could have been doing life sentence. Like, yeah, like it it was bad. Like, it was bad. Like, helicopters looking for me. They had a kid in my apartment door. No disclaimer. If you want to hear that story, hey, comment below. Like, we're going to say that story for another day. But real deal, y'all, like, all the movies, like, my mom, like, put me in the trunk of the car, riding me 3 times over to my sister homegirl house type story. Like, it went down that day. I like, yeah, we gonna move past that. I'm just trying to get y'all the timeline and background. Then by the time I was 22, had my third kid from all my boys got the same daddy. And I don't think I'm trifling, because all my boys got the same daddy. It was an issue one time. It was a rumor going around the church that they had the same daddy. Whew, how dare you say that about me? So now, at that point, like I said, I was 22. I got 3 kids. I can't stand my baby daddy. I'm in the house. I'm like, oh my God, I never finished college. It's like I went through a real dark, funky time. Like, I was clinically diagnosed with postpartum depression. Like, it ain't no joke. Like, a lot of people, I know you hear about it, but to actually go through it, you don't ever want to go back to that place. Like, when you have a kid, it's supposed to be the most happiest time of your life, And like I said, by the time I had my third son, it was like a disconnect. But God loved me enough since to say, girl, you need to get up out this house. And it's something wrong. Like, I had no connection. Like, the other two, one that I was mistreating my 3-month-old, but the other two, like, I can bustle up some energy to maybe fix some noodles or get it together. I hadn't been out of the house 3-4 days, looking in the mirror, nothing. If it weren't for my big sister coming saying, hey girl, what is wrong? Something, going on. And I'm like, my baby, he crying. I don't know, he wet, he hungry, but I don't got no motherly instincts to go in there. You know how it is when you, like, if you're a new mama, if you're a new parent, grandparent, you want to be all this shit. I didn't have that connection. And that's just the taste of what postpartum, what it could do to you. And then me being an African American woman, and like I said, I was 22 at the time it happened. I remember going to the doctor, and I was with my mom, and she looking at the doctor, she looking at me, she looking at the doctor. She like, ain't nothing wrong with her, just the word depression alone rubbed her the wrong way. So it was like super taboo. So I'm like, yeah, man, something kind of is wrong with me. Like, I'm being promiscuous. I'm like out here smoking weed. Like, oh my God, y'all, I got a story for days. I gotta tell y'all about how my other best friend and her baby daddy at the time dropped me off at the freaking hospital. Whole time wasn't narrow on me. I just got super high. I had to smoke some perk for the first time, because I came up in the generation where you smoke Reggie. You smoke some brown regular on the way to middle school, tried to get high, had a headache, went to class, tough it out. But it was my first time in my life smoking perk, and I smoked the whole joint by myself, by the way. Disclaimer. So if y'all want to hear about that story, how I ended up at the hospital, so embarrassed with my parents picking at me, make sure you comment. I'll give y'all the whole full story. But like I said, I went through a very rough, dark patch, and then I met my daughter's father, who, you know what I'm saying, he kind of started introducing me into like different things. Like, hey, ain't nothing wrong with you. We're gonna come out of this. Everything okay. He started teaching me about third eye and self-awareness and how you can't make it off your grandma, your mom prayers. You need to go to God for yourself. So, like, no lie, big shout out to him. That really did like bounce me back. He like, you got these kids. You need to go finish your school, which led me to go back to school. I ended up opening up. I actually had my daughter a couple years later. So by the time I'm 28, I had my daughter. I finished up my child care credentials, enough to, get a home daycare. Again, anytime I'm ever speaking on stuff, is big facts. I've done it. I lived it. If you want to hear about it, like how to open up a Florida home daycare, hey, That's what I'm here for. It's called free game. I don't mind giving it. I'll probably give you the whole rundown, step by step, no lie. I hate to know stuff and sit on it. What I know, you gonna know. As my followers, if I know something, or even if I don't know, I'm like, I don't know that. Let me get back with you. I probably have the answer for you in like 5 minutes. If you do personally know me, please comment. It's the truth. Say she the real deal. Say no, boss lady gonna get you right. Like no flagging, no lie, no nothing, no capping. I'm the real deal when it comes to information. Like I'm the GOAT. Like if I don't know something, I'm gonna find out. You ain't gonna know I don't know, but I'll be right back with the information. But like I said, whatever I know, you know. Um, so on. And then, shortly after that, just like I said, I'm an everyday person. I don't really have nothing to hide. I don't want to be too vulnerable and expose myself, but I did. I ended up going through, some changes. I experienced some loss. I ended up closing down my daycare center, jumping up with 4 kids, moving out of my home. I had a split with my daughter father, who I had been with for like by then probably like 6-7 years. I just felt like I was having a midlife crisis at 28, 29. Sometimes I don't know how y'all feel, but when I was reaching the age of 30, I just felt like a sense of not being accomplished. I felt like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be married. Oh my God, where's my house? Where's my ring? Where's my dog and my white fence? So I didn't know how to express that. So I just like, you know what? I figured it out on my own. And me being a free spirited, me being a person that randomly jump up and do stuff, I had to deal with life for the first time. I didn't have my daddy money. I didn't have my daddy say, "Oh, daddy, can you pay my phone bill? Can you pay my rent? Can you pay I didn't have that. I in the world on my own from reckless thinking, non-rational thinking. I had to deal with stuff like always not having it. My kids always had. I had to deal with like struggling like homeless. And when you hear about homeless, it's not always, oh my God, they sleeping in their car, they sleep on the bridge. I was never that type. So sometimes when I share that with people, they be like, oh my God, Trevor, I can't believe that. You was on. I'm like, and a lot of people like my family don't like for me to say that, but technically I was. When you're not the head of your house and you have to sleep on somebody's couch with your kids, or you kind of going here to there because you're trying to find yourself, like that's hard. And shout out to all the mamas and daddies and grandparents or aunts or whoever pulling and swinging on kids that have to do that. Some of y'all don't realize, okay? And I'm not picking on the men, but women have to go through things in life with their children. Like, I don't have to, like, I always used to joke and say, man, I wish I was the baby daddy. If I was the baby daddy, I have my together. And I come back and be like, come on, kids, daddy got it together. Because I had some downtime. But when you going through life and life hitting you and you don't know how to deal with it, nobody gave us a book. Nobody gave us a Bible. They say, here you go. We always say we want to get grown. But no, life will hit you. And life will hit you so hard. And then you got your children. Like, you can't just go somewhere. Y'all can get in the shower. I can scream in the pillow, but my children watching me. So I always, people like, how you do it? I remember one point in time, like my kids was little and I was staying with my best friend. And I was making peanuts. I was running my homegirl daycare center, but I wasn't making it enough to be on my own. I needed that roommate. I needed that support. I remember my kids like being to the football field, like sun up, sundown. Like I did it without even hesitating because that's what my kids enjoy. And that was making me whole. That was making me insane. So when I get out, my evening is dedicated to football practice. We'll be to the field because I had my daughter and she was a cheerleader. So, I always kept myself busy. My mind is always 3 steps of my whole body. Like people just like, oh my God, you're amazing. How do you do it? I don't know. I'm super mom, I guess. So, like I said, I moved around here and there. I finally got settled situated. I got into sales. Like, man, I always been a hustle. In middle school, I think I got in trouble. I didn't really go with the intentions to sell them my dad's cigarettes, but when I got to school, I had on my daddy jacket. And I remember getting in trouble because I had his cigarettes in my pocket. But only how they knew I had my cigarettes in my pocket is because I sold a boy a cigarette for 50 cents and then they ratted me out. Shout out to Officer Fields. That was the resource officer. He knew my parents. He knew I come from a good home, and he spared me the expansion. And then I remember being in 2nd grade, they tried to keep me out of school because I brought a toy gun to school. I told my mama, take that toy gun out my backpack. Did she know? So like I was always doing something. But like I say, I always been a hustler. I've been a punch lady, boiled peanuts. I sell you shades in the purse. I knock on your door and ask you, do you want phone, internet, and cable? I sold Sprint cell phones. Like, yeah, like I bossed up real good on it. It took some time. So now like I have like multiple businesses, multi-business owner. I'm doing this, trying to get a feel for it because I feel like it's my passion. It's my passion. I love people. I love what I do. Whatever I do, whether it's childcare, whether it's wiping but all day, sitting with the elderly, I'm gonna do it with passion and I'm gonna do it with love because I love wholeheartedly. So like right now, I just feel like I'm ready for the world. Again, it's the Coffee and Kush Morning Show. Like, share, subscribe. Definitely, most definitely, 100% comment. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from everyday people. I want to know what you think, or, let's not be too controversial because, again, it is the Coffee and Kush Show hosted by your girl, Chera, Dynae, a.k.a. Bosslady. But no, seriously, I deal with everyday bull, just like you, or I been there, done that. And sometimes, it's hard to get through to people when you be like, oh, yeah, girl, I been there, done that. I don't want to come off as a Miss Know-It-All, okay? But I definitely most likely been in that situation. And I feel like I'm highly qualified to get you out of that situation. So, again, definitely comment, and let's do the darn thing.
Nigga, who want smoke with me? 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 Nigga, who want smoke? Who want smoke with me? I'm tryna fuck.